So let me just start off by answering a few obvious questions. Yes, I am 20 years old and living in a dorm. Yes, I am wearing clothes from the men's section of Old Navy. And no, I am not a ghost. I'm making this video because it's just a lot more convenient than typing out 19 pages of a story that no one has time to read. And this story is worth hearing for sure because that's the purpose of this blog, and everything from it stems from what I'm about to say. I love making lists. I've always loved making lists. That doesn't mean I fulfill them, but you could definitely say that my life has been a checklist of expectations. I was always really smart, and so I was expected to get straight A's. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and so I'm expected to live this life of responsibility when I have no idea what's going on. I don't know anything. I was athletic, and so I was expected to be the best on the team. Score the most goals, catch the most pop flies, whatever. I sported. I went to a Catholic grade school for 9 years, and so I was expected to be this perfect Christian when, honestly, what does that mean? All of these things were put on by other people onto myself and also by me. And slowly but surely, this list became so huge, I lost track of it. And I couldn't check anything off. I couldn't check a single thing off completely. And so this list drained me. I realized I cannot live up to a single thing on here. And all these people want me to, including myself. And so I became an empty shell. I was walking on eggshells. I was so scared to make one mistake because people would see right through my cracks and people would know I'm not perfect when I'd made myself up to be. And I didn't want to disappoint people. And so I filled myself up with other people giving me my self-worth. I looked to people for praises. I looked to them for compliments. I looked to boys to make me feel loved. I felt pretty if I was told I was pretty. I felt like I did a good job if someone told me I did. And if they didn't, I was left devastated, wondering what could I do better. All this caused me to get in a really emotionally abusive relationship that lasted my 4 years of high school. I had put everything I had into this relationship instead of investing it in other people or myself or God. I had put it in this one person and put all of these impossible standards on him. And whenever he couldn't meet them, I was left feeling more and more empty. And as the relationship got worse and he became more abusive, I became less of a person. I eventually became so weak from it that I couldn't get out of the relationship. I felt trapped. I remember I would drive around sometimes not wearing a seatbelt, thinking if I wreck, I wreck. And it's so dumb. Like, I can't even say it with a straight face because that's how stupid of a thought it was, but it was real. And so one night God granted my prayer, and I was driving home from my friend's house on a back road that I had driven dozens of times, and I ended up flipping my car. And this is the one night I wore my seatbelt. I never wore my seatbelt. And when the firefighters and police officers got there, they told me they didn't think I should be alive, and they didn't know how I was. And this was a wake-up call for me. This was the first time I had realized how present God was in my life, and that he had given me a second chance. He could have easily granted what I wanted, but this was him telling me he had something better and bigger for me. And so after that, I had enough strength to get out of the relationship I was in. I decided to move away to college, and I came here to Missouri State. And right off the bat, God was looking out for me because I got plugged into a campus ministry called Student Mobilization, and one of the staff girls named Claire met up with me a few times a month, and she was low-key sharing the gospel with me, but I still didn't even know what that meant. I'd never heard the words relationship with God before, which is funny because I went to a Christian grade school for 9 years. But conversations about God never left the classroom. They never entered in my friend groups. It wasn't something I wanted to participate in on the weekends. God was something I was tested over, and I got A's on. And so the rest of my freshman year, though, was spent by me still trying to keep up this image of myself. I had to be perfect. I couldn't let people see that I was real. And so I lived my freshman year selfishly, doing the things I wanted, taking on the leadership roles I wanted, doing everything I thought that would be best for me. I went home that summer getting everything I thought I could need. The friends I wanted, the sorority I wanted, the positions I wanted, the boy I wanted, the summer I wanted. Everything was perfect. Until I came back to school 2 months later. And within 2 weeks, everything came crashing around me. How is it that after 2 weeks, I was more depressed than I was after 18 years of buildup? But I was so much more depressed than I ever had been. And that's when I knew I have been living my life wrong. And that is something hard to come to terms with for a proud 18-year-old. And so one night I was just bawling. I was weeping in my bed. And I said, God, there has to be more for me than this. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to live my life for you. Because I recognize that what I thought I was doing, or what I was doing, that what I thought it was right, isn't, clearly. So why would I continue living this life where I know I'm going to keep failing? Or give it to someone who I know will never fail me? After that, God answered my prayers again. And ever since then, my life has done a 180. Just like my car. Sorry, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. If I knew how to edit videos well, I would take that out, but I don't. Anyways. And so, God has rescued me. He's given me new life. He's given me new purpose. He's given me joy, peace, self-worth. I don't have to look to anyone else anymore to feel like I'm loved. Because I have someone who loves me better than anyone on this earth can. And the Lord can do that for anyone. And so that's what I'm trying to say, is that maybe you're living your life thinking, okay, I'll come to God when I've got my life together. I'll go to church more, I'll read my Bible more, then I'll go all in. I'll try this Christian thing. Or maybe I'll live my life how I want to before I give it to someone else. And I'm a living testament that just doesn't work. And it won't. It never works. If you're lost and broken, God will find you and use your brokenness to make you into a whole being that's better than you ever could have thought. If He can do that for a broken, lost, unworthy 18-year-old sad girl, He can do it for anyone. And I would not be sitting here in my dorm room at 20 years old making this video if I didn't want to share what God's done and performed in my life with everyone I knew, knowing that He could do the same for you.